Hello, and welcome to your next PT 751 update. I am in my bedroom, literally hiding from COVID right now. Not really, but it is everywhere. I don't know if that's what it's like where you are in your clinicals, but it is, uh, it is, it is everywhere. So a couple of quick things that I wanted to provide an update on. Number one is we finally have all of your classmates signed up for a due date, so I can finally post a schedule for reviewer assignments. So you do have case reports that you'll need to review as a part of this course as well, and we do have some case reports that are going to be due in just a couple of weeks. So be on the lookout for those reviewer assignments. I will be posting them in the next couple of days. So some of your classmates have run into issues as far as patient selection for a number of reasons. So it's no one's fault. It's just part of the process. So hopefully that list will be out very, very soon. But be checking Blackboard for those updates. Because people are going to be having cases due or case reports due in the next couple of weeks, I do want to touch on just a quick guide to helping people getting started with the writing. So often I think people think that they need to start with the lit review, and when you're searching the literature, that's a good place to start, is start looking at systematic reviews and getting a broad understanding of what the literature says and where some of the gaps are. That's great. But when writing, I never ever start with the introduction or with the background. Never. I know the information, but that's not what I start writing. I often feel like I just have a really hard time telling that story from the beginning, and I can usually do a much better job if I start from the middle, because the middle is what I know the best. So the middle is your methods. So those are the things that you have already collected. So those are, any kind of outcome or objective measure that you've done. You already know that because you did it. So start compiling some of that evidence that you collected during your initial evaluation. Sometimes that's enough to just kind of get the ball rolling and sort of get you in the groove of writing, and then the introduction and the discussion start to come together a whole lot better. But if you find yourself kind of sitting there thinking, like, just staring at the screen after hours and hours of just trying to get this paper started, if you haven't been able to have any success thus far and just feel like you just keep running into a block, start in the middle. That's always my suggestion. As people have started to write, we've had a question about systematic reviews. So in a previous video, I talked about how we cite them appropriately, but there's been a question about the age of systematic reviews, and not just systematic reviews, but articles in general. So in our instructions, what we hope is that you're using the most current evidence, and the recommendation that we use is something within the last 5 years. The reason why we use that cutoff is because that's generally what most journals and conferences will use, is that that's the cutoff, is they want evidence that's been published within the last 5 years to use as your references. With that said, we know that systematic reviews are good for 10 years. So if you stumble across a systematic review or a meta-analysis that was published in 2014, that's still an acceptable study to use as background information. Now, it should be supplemented with some more current studies, high quality studies too. But a 2014 systematic review is still applicable at this point. Additionally, there are some sort of seminal articles that people consider as being even if they are have been published more than 5 years ago, they are still very, very relevant to what we do, and lay a very good foundation for why we do the things that we do. So Dr. Kiesel's original FMS study is one of those seminal articles that, even though it is beyond that threshold of what most conferences are looking for and what most journals are looking for, it's still relevant to cite because it's what lays the foundation for why we screen movement the way that we do. So there are some caveats in there. The things that we're wanting to avoid are utilization of newer evidence because the articles are just not full text free access. So those are the situations that we're trying to avoid, and that's kind of why we put that threshold there. So if you have any issues tracking down an article, Again, I know Dr. Pitt has shared his secrets with you as far as utilizing Sci-Hub and things like that. So that's my recommendation. Our library will do interlibrary loans, and they do them actually pretty quickly. So if you're still struggling to find access to articles, contact the library. And if that still doesn't get you where you need to go, please contact Dr. Plisky or myself, and we will do our best to track those articles down. So best of luck to everyone as they are starting their case reports. Again, please check back in the next few days to see your reviewer assignment. And if you have any other questions, please let me know. Thanks. Bye.